YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey, in case you hadn't figured that out by now. But I do appreciate you guys joining us today as always. Thanks to all of you who have subscribed. We are up to 921 subscribers. We are closing in on that 1,000 mark very fast. And why that's important is because that's when YouTube will recognize us as an official channel and we'll start pushing the videos, and we'll be able to grow then to other gearheads. We're going to get back on this Buick today. We're going to play with some radiator hoses. We're going to get the fuel pump put on. Plus, we've got to get that new water outlet put on. And we're going to make an AN hose. I'm going to show you how to do that. Probably some of you already know how. I hate doing it, but we're going to make one today. We're going to show you how to do that big old 20 huge AN line today. We're going to do that as well. Plus, we'll give you an update on Ryan's car. As you saw in our most recent video, I think it was 105. Only I guess the third night officially out in the car, he got the car wiped out in the front clip. I tell you, that car is snake bit. And he was rolling. He did a great job. Trent had a great night. Trent won his heat race and finished second in feature. Led the feature for a little bit, but our buddy Chase Hatton got by him, and Trent ran a strong second. And of course, Ryan ran second in his heat race, but got knocked out, majorly knocked out in the feature. So we'll give you an update on those as well. But hey, let's get on this car behind me and let's get started, see what we get done. All right, well, the first thing we're going to get done today is going to go ahead and get this new water neck housing that I found at my swap meet we had last Saturday, which I'm still amazed. I mean, my swap meet, we had 37 vendors here, but for somebody to have that, that was like crazy. But anyway, we got it. We're also going to install our new fuel pump. We're going to pull that one off. That's one, remember, we had on the Nova up there that was cracked. And I wish I could find a bottom half for that one. That would be okay. I might see if I can order that. But anyway, because there's nothing wrong with that fuel pump other than, matter of fact, it's cracked on this fitting right here. I've got to clock this around. This is the way it goes on the motor. We've got to clock this around so both fittings are coming out of the front. We've already located this a couple of the AN fittings to be able to run up to the carburetor, then back to the fuel line. Also, I've got a real cool little trick. I'm going to show you how we're going to run the fuel line through the chassis. We're going to work on that today as well. And we're going to build the radiator hose, as I said. I had two options. That thing, that's a big old 20 line, big old Anaconda line. We could either hook it into the radiator and run it all the way around the car and back into the motor, or we can cut it to size. So we're going to cut the size. I'm going to show you how to do that if you've never made an AN line. Like I was saying earlier, I hate it. Give you an update on Ryan's car real quick. I got it used with a little persuasion. I was able to use a sledgehammer and got it beat around, and so we could get his rollers on here. But essentially, got a really bad bent ball joint. We think the shock is okay. We pray the shock is okay. I don't know if you bought late model shock lately, but you do not want to hurt those. Could replace the lower A-frame, and the big thing is this damage here. You can see how everything's cracked. It drove back. This is where you hit the wall from this direction. Of course, it wiped out the front bumper, all the nose and all that stuff. But really, I tell you, it's bad, but it's actually going to be very fixable. Thank goodness for Black Diamond Racing Chassis. They're going to help us get this front clip repaired. So we're really thankful for that. So let's see if we can get on this Buick over here, the BUICK, and see if we can get going on this thing. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a wire brusher on our drill. I like cleaning up this intake. That stuff's got to be clean. But the cool thing about these fittings here is they got adjustable neck on them. It's just simply take an Allen wrench and you put in there. I haven't tried it. Hopefully this is hopefully it's going to turn. Excuse me for my throat. I ate so much dust at the racetrack. There we go. So I'm not going to tighten this up until we get it in position where we want it. Now, I'm showing you some stuff I know that you guys probably already know, but to make some of you may not know that, we're going to go ahead and run. It's got an O-ring, but I like running a gasket as well. But anytime you put something in aluminum, obviously you need to run some anti-seize on it. So a little anti-seize on here, especially with your header bolts or anything you're putting inside of a aluminum head. It's just the right thing to do. So it's probably a little too much. That's okay. I don't like putting silicon on my on these gaskets. I just put them in there dry, and that's usually sufficient. Very seldom do you run into a situation where the intake is not square. And another thing, make sure you don't put too long of a bolt in there. Okay, I'm just gonna snug that for right now. Like I say, we're gonna twist this thing around, and I can tell you it's probably gonna be about that angle there. Let's go ahead and take this other one off. I could have bought one of these fittings that would have been straight up, and actually that's what I was gonna try to order off from Speedway Motors. I'm a dealer for Speedway, and they had them in the 20-inch. Or 20 AN rather, and I found this one at the swap meet last week. I said, that's good. So see, man, it's a big old hose. That thing is big. Get lots of water there. So, okay. So what we'll do, we're going to go ahead and roughly measure what we need, and because I only want to cut this AN line one time. So let's see if we get that set up. Okay, I've got my line laid up here, and I'm going to try to get this thing manipulated where it'll start. Okay, that was a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be. We'll probably just mark it right here and cut it, because that'll give us a little place to push it back. Okay, so we got our length cut. Let's go over and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, I've got my safety glasses on. Have you ever seen these safety glasses got the readers built into them? It's pretty cool. So I'm going to use these to try to cut this line. But the first thing you want to do, we've got it clamped in the vise here. You want to take just regular electrical tape. Look, you may have some better way to do it. This is the way I've always done it. And we've already made several hoses for this car. But get that stretched on there really, really tight. Now, you don't have to go around it a couple of times. Now, I've got other 20 AN radiator hose. This would have worked. It was just about 4 inches too short. I know that's what she said, right? If you're an Office fan, you'll get that. But just a little bit short. And so what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to take this straight end off of here. So that's pretty simple. So let's get this cut first. Then we will take this piece here apart. So we're going to use our old trusty old air chisel here, or air rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut right in the center of that tape. All right, those ziz wheels are perfect for this. So the main thing you want to do, I'll tell you what, I'll get you a closer shot of this. The reason you put the tape on there is you want this to keep from spreading out. All this stainless wants to do, it wants to spread, naturally wants to spread. So you keep the tape on there to hold it. Now sometimes you have to take a grinder and you steal this here. I actually have to grind some of this down with the ziz wheel, but you have to take some of those points off. But we'll set this one to the side right now, then we'll take our other one apart. Okay, we're going to swap this out for the one we're going to use the donor parts off of. And I'm gonna put the big end in the vise. Tell you what, let me put a little light on this. There we go. Maybe it'll see a little better now. But I'm gonna use my weapon of choice. Would you believe this is a Model T Ford wrench? Can you read Ford right there? I had a 1926, and my brother still got a 1928 Ford truck. I sold the 26. You know, that's a whole nother story. I wish I still had that truck. This is a real Ford wrench. It came new with the truck, and still use it. It's real good for these AN fittings. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and break this loose. That's just a threaded coupler there. Boy, I say these things are tough. Guys, I had to change your plan here. I didn't realize on my donor hose is a different color red. So I'm going all this trouble. At least I want the fittings to match. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and use this matching line. So we're going to go backwards and not use this after all. So I'll, it doesn't matter. I've got a bunch of these. I was just going to, we'll just throw everything in the fitting box. So I want it to match as much as we can. So now we'll go back to the same thing. We've got to take this one apart. I guarantee you that Rick Hendrick Motorsports uses Model T Ford wrenches when building their AN hoses. I bet you that's what they do. Okay, got this one handy. See if we can get this off now. It's like this sucker may be stubborn on this end too. I hate building these hoses. Okay, and there it is. Yeah, they had a bunch of, Lord have mercy, looks like they used duct tape on this when they built it. But you see how that squeeze is on there? So, man, they got a mess there. So there's our old hose, the old Anaconda. Clean all this gunk out of here. You don't want anything to keep that thing from sliding on the new hose. I promise you that. You want it to be slick as glass. Okay, now we got matching fittings. I hope this one, maybe it'll go on a little better. I still may have to grind this. No, I'm going to grind it. So let me polish this up here a little bit, and I'm going to put some more tape on so I won't bore you with all those details. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, I put another round of tape on there. I squeeze it really, really tight. I'm going to put a little oil on here as well. And see if we can have any luck getting this on here this time. Oh, it's wanting to start. Okay, we got it started. Okay, that is wonderful. So, you see down in there, but it started. So, we'll squeeze this on down there, and then we'll tighten it back up. So, let me get this pushed down all the way. Be right back with you. Once you get it started, the best thing to do is to get it in the vise and come down on it. One good thing about these big hoses like this, and you actually, like, you thread it in there just like you're turning the thread in. Oh man, we're already there. Okay, so you want to get that hose right up to where your threads go, and then you simply take your other end and you just insert it in there. And you always hope that the threads are going to catch. Center it up, and then I'm going to put this back in the vise to hold it. Same thing, I'm going to come down on it like this. I'll put a little bit of juice on there. Have I said I don't like doing these hoses yet? I want to make sure I make that abundantly clear. There's no way, the way these things are designed, that's not going to leak. All right. Woo! 15 hours later, we got a hose. No, it didn't take that long. So let's go see if it fits. It should be a lot easier to start on this side this time now. And that's going to start up there, no problem. Alrighty, that is how you make a 20 AN radiator hose. You know, I did not want to make the thing too short, and if I could go back and change this, I would make this just about a half-inch shorter. But I mean, that's fine though. Like I said, we still get the valve cover off. But man, I don't know if I told you or not, I don't like making AN hoses, but that's how you do it. Okay, so it's time to move on to the next project. I think we will try to tackle this fuel pump next. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to reclock this fuel pump, and we're just do it real easy. It's just you can take this bottom off with a drill here, take all the screws loose, and we're going to reposition it so we can get the outlets on the front side of the motor. So I'll drill these out real quick. Okay, you just take this and then get it around here where I want it. We'll just take it and we'll just reposition it like that. And we'll put about, so we're going to put about this position right here, I think. And we won't mess with the diaphragm at all. And then we'll get all the screws started again. Okay, so I'll get all these tight now. And we'll go ahead and get this other one pulled off the motor, and be another thing we can mark off the list. Okay, trying to get my fingers from there so we can get this last bolt out. There we go. Okay, so this is the old fuel pump. So we'll get this other one stuck in there, and that'd be another completed item. Give me a new gasket on here, and get that turned right. Okay. Okay. All right, got the new fuel pump on and get the new fittings on, and that'll be another mark off the list. Well, that wraps up another day here in the shop. We got the new radiator hose built and got it on the car, and we got the new fuel pump on, and I got the fittings installed in the fuel pump. I was going to install this white pipe you see here behind me. We're going to do that on the next episode, but that is the line, the steel line that encases the fuel line from the back firewall to the front firewall. And y'all, came up with the coolest thing to do this. I was looking for something real lightweight, thin wall, and I found something at Home Depot. I walked all around through the store, and a closet rod is perfect. So these are painted real nice. So I'm gonna leave it white, but I have to cut a hole in the front and rear firewall, and we'll do it on the next episode. And I'll show you how we install that. But I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks to all of you who have, and thanks for the loyal followers we have every week. It's really fun communicating with you guys. And don't forget to send me a message if you have any questions or comments. Have a fantastic week. God bless you. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. Take care.